Chosen one, pause for a moment. I'm about to drop a truth bomb that will make your soul tingle. What if I told you that your last move, that last choice you made, didn't just change your life? It earned you a standing ovation from the celestial realm. Think about that. While people doubted you, heaven celebrated you. While they whispered that you lost, the heavens saw that you just shifted into divine alignment. The truth is, the unseen realm reacts louder than the seen. Every sacrifice, every act of faith, every leap into the unknown, it echoes in eternity. And this time the sound of your obedience was so powerful, even the angels couldn't sit still. So why did heaven cheer for you, and what does it mean for the path ahead? I want to take you back to a moment in my life. I was at a complete crossroads. The path of least resistance was right there, easy, comfortable, and predictable. But something inside me, that quiet, insistent voice, told me to turn the other way. It was a leap of faith, a move that made zero sense to the world around me. My friends and family were baffled. "Are you crazy?" they asked. "You're throwing everything away." It was a lonely moment filled with doubt and fear. But as I took that first step on the new path, I felt a shift. It was like the air itself changed. A sense of peace, of rightness washed over me. I didn't see it then, but I know now that in that moment, when I chose courage over comfort, when I chose the God-ordained path over the world's way, something miraculous happened. The angels, the heavenly hosts, they weren't just watching, they were cheering. They saw my struggle, my sacrifice, and my faith, and they celebrated it. They gave me a standing ovation. And I'm telling you, chosen ones, you've had those moments too. You've made moves that felt insane, that didn't make sense to anyone but you and God. And those were the moments when the heavens erupted in applause. The world tells you to play it safe, to stay small, to follow the crowd. But you, my friend, are not of this world. You are a chosen one, and your journey is being meticulously watched, not to be judged, but to be celebrated. This isn't just a video, it's a divine message, a reminder that your spiritual GPS is working perfectly. Your seemingly insignificant choices are actually epic turning points. They are proof of your divine assignment. And if you feel like you're losing your spiritual momentum or you're starting to doubt the path you're on, this is your wake-up call. Don't touch that back button. This video is going to give you 7 undeniable signs that your last move was so powerful, so aligned with your destiny, that the angels gave you a standing ovation. You need to hear this, you need to feel this. So grab a seat, get comfortable, and let's dive deep into the signs that you're on the right track and that your faith is being honored in the highest of places. Watch this video until the very end to stay awake and aligned on your spiritual journey. Point 1, the sudden onset of unshakable peace. You know that feeling when you make a huge decision and a weight just lifts off your shoulders? It's almost as if you've been trudging through life carrying a 100-pound backpack, and suddenly it vanishes into thin air. That sensation isn't just relief. It's a signal, a spiritual marker that you've aligned yourself with something far greater than yourself. Throughout history, mystics, prophets, and visionaries have spoken of this phenomenon. The peace you feel is not merely emotional, it's a divine response, a confirmation from the universe that you are stepping into your God-given path. The Bible refers to this kind of peace as one that surpasses all understanding, a statement that emphasizes its otherworldly nature. It isn't something you earn through effort alone, it's a gift, a gentle nudge from the cosmos telling you, yes, this is right. What's fascinating is that this peace doesn't rely on external circumstances. Your bank account might be dwindling, the world might be spinning in chaos, and even the people closest to you might question your choices. But inside, there's a calm that no storm can shake. This is significant because most of humanity waits for external validation to feel secure. Chosen ones, however, understand that true guidance comes from an internal compass, a subtle alignment with the divine will. When you experience this deep resonating peace, it's essentially a cosmic high five, a way the universe communicates that you are walking the correct path. Angels, spirit guides, and unseen forces often work in whispers rather than shouts. And this tranquility is their language, their applause for the courage it takes to follow your calling. This isn't just abstract spirituality. Science has even begun to explore these sensations. Neurotheology, the study of the brain in relation to spiritual experiences, shows that making decisions aligned with one's values activates areas of the brain associated with reward and emotional regulation. That sense of calm and contentment isn't just poetic, it's tangible. When you act in accordance with your higher purpose, your mind literally experiences a release of tension. Neurotransmitters like dopamine and serotonin surge in subtle ways, creating that signature glow of satisfaction and inner calm. So when you feel that profound peace, your body is physically validating your spiritual alignment. It's the divine and the biological working in harmony. Yet the world will always try to distract you. Chaos is inevitable. Society thrives on noise, uncertainty, and questioning. People around you may fail to understand your choices, and fear might creep in. But the peace you feel is your spiritual GPS. It separates the signal from the noise. It tells you that while the external world may not recognize your path, something infinitely wise and powerful does. That calmness, that clarity is an unmistakable indicator that your steps are in sync with your purpose. In essence, peace becomes both your guide and your shield. Every decision that brings this kind of peace is a step closer to your destiny. It's a reminder that you were chosen not to follow the crowd, but to illuminate the path others can't yet see. That serenity isn't passive, it's a force, a divine approval, and a testimony that the universe, in all its vast intelligence, is guiding your journey. Trust it, honor it, and move forward boldly. Because when peace replaces doubt, you are not merely surviving, you are thriving on the exact path you were created to walk. Point 2. Doors slamming shut and new ones opening. Okay, let's be real. Sometimes taking a bold step feels like a series of unfortunate events stacked one after another. You decide to move forward, trusting your intuition, and suddenly the universe seems to turn against you. Your job is unexpectedly cut. A relationship that once felt stable falls apart, or a friend you trusted disappears without explanation. Your first thought might be, did I make a mistake? Was this the wrong choice? But chosen ones, the truth is far more profound than mere coincidence or bad luck. What you are experiencing is a divine recalibration, a cosmic intervention designed to align you more closely with your true purpose. The universe, or the angels if you will, aren't punishing you. They are clearing the clutter, shutting doors that no longer serve your highest good so that you have room to step into something far greater. Think about it like this. Our lives are ecosystems, and every choice sends out ripples that affect the balance around us. When you make a significant move, it disrupts the old patterns. Opportunities that once seemed appealing may disappear because they were never meant for you. They were comfort zones, not growth zones. Relationships that lingered because of familiarity rather than authenticity begin to fade. Even friendships sometimes end, not because people have wronged you, but because the universe is redirecting energies to ensure that only those who resonate with your elevated path remain by your side. This is not a loss, it's a form of spiritual pruning, like a gardener trimming branches to allow the tree to flourish. Life removes the unnecessary to make space for abundance. There's a fascinating psychological principle at play here too. Scientists studying human behavior have found that significant stress or disruption often precedes periods of immense personal growth. This is called post-traumatic growth, a phenomenon where people emerge stronger, wiser, and more resilient after navigating life-altering challenges. So when doors slam shut unexpectedly, it's not evidence of failure, it's your soul being tested and strengthened for what's ahead. The universe is essentially preparing you for a version of yourself that requires new skills, new relationships, and a new environment. Now let's get a little metaphorical, because chosen ones thrive in seeing the unseen. Imagine your life as a grand ancient theater. Every bold decision you make is like taking the stage with a solo performance that demands attention. The old scenery, props, and supporting actors, the outdated jobs, relationships, and patterns are being quietly removed behind the curtains. The angels are orchestrating the stagecraft, shutting down the old acts to make space for your new spotlight. This is a celestial standing ovation, a signal that your performance is ready to evolve and the next scene will be far more magnificent than anything you could have imagined. So, do not mourn the doors that have closed. Do not linger in regret, and certainly do not allow fear to paralyze you. Instead, celebrate the divine choreography at work. Each closed door is a stepping stone toward a higher alignment, a clearer path, and a more authentic version of your destiny. The angels, your guides, and the universe itself are all conspiring to make sure you move not just forward, but upward. Remember, growth always requires a letting go, and transformation often feels disruptive before it feels divine. Embrace it. The stage is being cleared, the lights are about to shine brighter, and your role is about to expand in ways that surpass your imagination. The misfortunes are not the story, they are merely the prelude to your magnificent awakening. Point 3. Increased spiritual attack and resistance. Here's a paradox for you. The better your move, the fiercer the resistance seems to get. Imagine you're climbing a mountain, and just as you reach a higher ledge, the wind picks up and the trail becomes steeper. That's exactly how spiritual progress works. The more aligned you are with your purpose, the more temptations appear, the louder self-doubt becomes, and the craftier lies begin to whisper in your ear. It's not a coincidence, it's a sign. The enemy doesn't waste his time on those who are stagnant, drifting aimlessly through life. His energy is reserved for those who are making significant moves for the kingdom. In other words, if you feel the heat, it's proof that you're stepping into your true power, that your actions are shaking the spiritual atmosphere around you. Historically and biblically, the principle is clear. Think of Joseph in Egypt. The more God elevated him, the more resistance he faced, from betrayal by his own brothers to being falsely accused and imprisoned. Or consider David. The greater his anointing, the fiercer Saul's pursuit became. This is a timeless pattern. When divine purpose aligns with your heart, resistance isn't a sign that you're failing, it's confirmation that you're on the right trajectory. The enemy doesn't acknowledge mediocrity, but he definitely notices greatness. When the angels celebrated your potential, when heaven gave you a silent standing ovation, you became a target for spiritual attacks. That spiritual squeeze you feel, take it as a backhanded compliment. It's the universe or the forces opposing goodness saying, "We see you, you're a threat." Psychologically, this makes sense too. Human minds are wired to resist change. Whenever you attempt to rise above comfort zones or embrace a calling that feels bigger than yourself, your inner self and external pressures conspire to stop you. Temptations multiply like shadows, self-doubt creeps in like a fog, and distractions appear in forms so subtle you barely notice them. This is nature's way of testing commitment, resilience, and faith. The size of the struggle is, in fact, proportional to the size of your assignment. Small assignments meet small resistance. Massive, kingdom-aligned breakthroughs meet formidable opposition. That is a principle both spiritual and practical. Now let's make it relatable. Think of modern-day chosen ones or people who walk paths of influence, leadership, or extraordinary impact. Innovators, leaders, and spiritual warriors, they often face ridicule, betrayal, and obstacles that seem insurmountable, but each trial is a marker, a cosmic signpost that says you are moving forward. Resistance isn't a barrier, it's a measurement. It's an indicator that your work matters, that your calling is real, and that your destiny is unfolding. Instead of retreating when the pressure mounts, lean into it. Consider it a refining fire, shaping your character, your patience, and your faith. In fact, some of the greatest breakthroughs in history came immediately after the toughest opposition. The most impactful leaders, visionaries, and spiritually attuned individuals often report that the moments before their success were marked by intense spiritual, mental, and emotional battles. That struggle wasn't a setback, it was the precursor to their breakthrough. So when you feel overwhelmed, remember, these trials are not punishments, they are signs. You're at the threshold of transformation. Take heart in the reality that the enemy's resistance is a confirmation of your threat, your potential, and your divine assignment. As the saying goes, the size of your struggle is an indication of the size of your assignment. Embrace it and step boldly forward. This is your moment. The more pressure you feel, the closer you are to your breakthrough. Stand firm, keep moving, and trust the process. The world may push back, but that only means you're doing exactly what you were called to do. Point 4, unlocking new gifts and talents. Think about this. You make a faith-filled move, that bold step forward that no one else could see or understand, and suddenly life shifts in ways you never imagined. It's like unlocking a secret level in the game of existence. You start to notice strengths within yourself that were quietly waiting in the shadows. Maybe you realize you're more resilient than you thought, able to endure challenges that would have once left you broken. Perhaps you discover an unexpected compassion, a sensitivity to others' struggles that allows you to comfort and guide people in ways you never knew you could. Sometimes it's a creative gift, a knack for speaking, writing or creating that feels almost like it was waiting for this exact moment to awaken. This isn't coincidence. This is the universe and God rewarding courage with revelation. When you step into your divine purpose, it's not just about following a path. It's about awakening the hidden blueprint inside you. Think of it as a carefully designed map etched into your very being. God equips you for this journey not by giving you what you think you need, but by unlocking what you already carry inside. These gifts were dormant, waiting for the perfect alignment of faith and action to activate them. Every challenge you face, every risk you take, and every choice you make with intention is a key turning in the lock of your potential. And the rewards aren't abstract. They're tangible, real, and deeply personal. Imagine it like this. Life is a massive, intricate video game. You've been wandering through the levels, learning the controls and mastering the basics. Then you take that leap of faith. Suddenly a hidden door opens. New powers, new abilities, and new tools become available. You didn't just pass a test, you were given a divine upgrade. These gifts can manifest in countless ways: wisdom that guides your decisions, courage that fuels your actions, or insight that illuminates paths for others. They are the angel's way of saying you're ready for what's next. And here's the thrilling part. Every new strength brings new opportunities, new responsibilities, and new adventures you never could have imagined before taking that step. But here's the secret many overlook. These abilities are not just for personal gain. They exist to amplify your impact, to expand the reach of your purpose. When you discover your voice, your creativity, or your empathy, it isn't merely a personal awakening, it's a ripple effect. Every act of faith you take sends waves outward, touching lives, inspiring others, and fulfilling a role only you can play. This is why the journey of a chosen one is both exhilarating and demanding. It's not about being the strongest or the smartest. It's about being aligned with divine timing, stepping forward when you're called, and embracing the hidden potential that reveals itself along the way. So every time you feel hesitant, remember this. Your leap of faith isn't just a gamble. It's an activation. It's the universe whispering, "You've got this." And when you move forward, when you trust, when you step boldly into the unknown, you are rewarded in ways that are profound, transformative, and undeniably yours. Your faith is the spark, your courage is the key, and your hidden gifts, those dormant treasures within, are the divine reward waiting for you to claim. Step into your purpose, embrace the awakening, and watch as the chosen one within you rises to meet the destiny only you can fulfill. Point 5. The alignment of synchronicity. Synchronicity. It's more than just a word. It's a cosmic wink, a subtle nudge, a sign that the universe is awake and conspiring in your favor. Imagine you are grappling with a life-altering decision, your mind tangled with uncertainty, and suddenly a book falls off a shelf. You pick it up, and the page it opens to contains the exact answer you were seeking. Or picture yourself lost in thought, wondering how to solve a persistent problem when a stranger walks by and utters a phrase that feels as if it was scripted just for you. These moments are rarely random, chosen one. They are carefully choreographed whispers from the cosmos, a reminder that you are exactly where you need to be. Synchronicity is Carl Jung's term for these meaningful coincidences, and psychologists today recognize that such events can profoundly influence our lives, nudging us toward growth, awareness, and opportunity. The magic of synchronicity is not just poetic, it's measurable. Studies in psychology and neuroscience suggest that our brains are wired to detect patterns, even subtle ones. When you notice these coincidences, your mind interprets them as guidance, reinforcing your intuition and decision-making. But for you, chosen one, it goes deeper than a cognitive quirk. The angels, the spiritual guides, and the energies surrounding you are actively orchestrating these events, aligning people, places, and circumstances to support your journey. Think of it as the universe setting up dominoes for you. You only need to make the first move and everything else falls perfectly into place. Consider the butterfly effect. Every small action you take sends ripples across the fabric of reality. When you step forward with courage, the universe responds, not with chaos, but with support. Doors that once seemed closed swing open effortlessly. Opportunities arrive when you least expect them, yet precisely when you need them. Meetings with the right mentor, a chance conversation with a stranger, a sudden insight during a moment of reflection. All of these are synchronicities in action. They are the signposts marking your path. Each one a divine high five confirming, yes, you are on track. It's also fascinating to observe that synchronicity often occurs when you are in alignment with your higher self or your true purpose. The more you tune into your intuition, the more you notice the patterns and the meaningful coincidences. Many chosen ones report experiencing double signs, repeated numbers, song lyrics, or visual symbols just when they are questioning their next step. These repeated synchronicities act as cosmic breadcrumbs, leading you toward your destiny. Science might label them as chance, but the universe knows better. It's like a personal assistant working behind the scenes, orchestrating every detail for your highest good. So pay attention, chosen one. These coincidences are not to be dismissed. They are your guidance system, a gentle reminder that the cosmos has your back. Even when challenges arise, synchronicity reassures you that you are not walking this path alone. The universe celebrates your courage, mirrors your intentions, and places the right people in your life at exactly the right time. Remember, every meaningful coincidence is a message, a clue, a cosmic gesture saying, you are seen, you are guided, and you are unstoppable. Embrace it, notice it, let it fuel your journey, for the universe has never stopped conspiring in your favor, and it never will. Point 6. A profound sense of isolation. This period in your life might feel unsettling at first, and it's natural to interpret it as a negative phase, but the truth is far more empowering. When you begin stepping fully into your purpose, something extraordinary occurs, a sense of solitude emerges. And this is not mere loneliness, it's a signal, a cosmic nudge, a subtle way the universe is whispering, you are evolving. You may notice that old friends no longer resonate with the person you are becoming. Conversations that once flowed effortlessly now feel hollow, and familiar places where comfort once embraced you suddenly feel foreign. But this is not a curse or a punishment. It is a mark of spiritual and personal growth. In fact, science supports this transformation. Psychologists refer to it as relational pruning, a process in which your brain and your soul subconsciously filter out relationships that no longer align with your higher path. Just as trees shed leaves to grow stronger branches, your life is clearing space for connections that truly elevate you. Research in neuroscience even shows that as people grow and evolve, their social networks shift naturally, often shrinking in size but deepening in quality, proving that solitude and selective connections are not failures, but signs of growth. Throughout history, many of the world's most influential figures experienced periods of deliberate or unavoidable solitude before achieving their breakthroughs. Moses wandered the desert for 40 years, refining his spirit and preparing for a mission that would reshape a nation. Siddhartha Gautama, who became the Buddha, sat alone under the Bodhi tree, confronting the depths of his own mind and the illusions of the world. Jesus himself retreated into the wilderness for 40 days, facing trials and temptations before stepping into his divine mission. Even in more modern times, great thinkers, writers, and innovators such as Nikola Tesla, Albert Einstein, and Henry David Thoreau often embrace solitude, not as a punishment, but as a fertile ground for creativity, clarity, and discovery. What history reveals is consistent. Solitude has always been the crucible in which greatness is forged. It strips away distractions, allowing vision to sharpen and inner strength to solidify. Being alone during this phase is not something to fear or despair over. On the contrary, it is a sacred opportunity to deepen your communion with God or with the universe itself, depending on your belief system. In this quiet, your true self can finally emerge. Free from the noise of constant validation and superficial social ties, you gain the rare chance to listen, to to the still small voice within, to divine guidance, to the whispers of your own intuition. Psychologists often describe solitude as a state that enhances self-awareness, creativity, and emotional regulation. Spiritually, it allows you to explore the depths of your desires, confront your shadows, and uncover strengths you never knew you possessed. This introspective work roots your soul, preparing it to receive new experiences and relationships that resonate authentically with the person you are becoming. The connections that enter your life after this phase will not merely be casual acquaintances or surface-level bonds. They will vibrate at your evolving frequency, amplifying your purpose and supporting your spiritual mission. So embrace this period of solitude as a sacred incubation. Understand that being alone now does not equate to abandonment. Rather, you are under divine protection and intentional refinement. Just as seeds must remain buried in the soil before they sprout into towering trees, your current loneliness is fertile ground for unseen growth. The friendships, partnerships, and opportunities that once seemed impossible are already taking shape, perfectly aligned with the higher version of yourself that is emerging. This is your divine workshop, a place where God, or the universe, is sculpting the masterpiece that is your life, one silent, sacred moment at a time. Instead of resisting this stage, lean into it, for solitude is not your setback, it is your preparation. And when the time comes for you to step fully into your destiny, you will see that every quiet, uncertain moment was not wasted, but woven purposefully into the tapestry of your becoming. Point 7, an unexplained increase in joy and gratitude. This, chosen ones, is the ultimate sign, the one that doesn't arrive with thunder, lightning, or dramatic proclamations, but instead quietly ties every fragment of your journey together. It's the unseen hand weaving your challenges, your disappointments, and even those long seasons of silence into a tapestry that all of a sudden begins to make sense. You may have thought the setbacks were pointless, the closed doors cruel, and the loneliness unbearable, but in hindsight, each piece fits perfectly into a greater design. And the evidence of this alignment is not found in fleeting happiness, the kind you get from a compliment, a new possession, or a temporary high. No, this is something much deeper. It's joy. Not surface-level delight, but soul-deep elation that vibrates through every fiber of your being. It's a luminous calm that sits at the center of your chest, whether you're sitting in solitude or moving through a chaotic crowd. The sun warming your skin feels like a personal blessing. The breeze against your face whispers reassurance, and even the air filling your lungs feels like grace itself. This profound joy has been studied, though science gives it different language. The psychologist Abraham Maslow, famous for his hierarchy of needs, called such states peak experiences. He discovered that individuals who had reached what he termed self-actualization, living fully in their authenticity and purpose, often described sudden waves of intense, transcendent joy. They felt deeply connected to something larger than themselves, be it God, the universe, or simply the miracle of existence. These weren't ordinary moments of pleasure. They carried a sense of awe, reverence, and timelessness. For the chosen ones, this experience is even more striking because it isn't just psychological, it's spiritual. It carries the unmistakable imprint of divine alignment, as though the universe itself were offering you a quiet nod. An invisible standing ovation for persevering, for enduring trials, for continuing to walk the path carved for your soul. What makes this joy so extraordinary is its subtlety. Unlike material success, which arrives with fanfare, applause, or visible recognition, this joy needs no stage. It doesn't need to prove itself because it exists beyond proof. It manifests in moments of gratitude, in laughter that bubbles up without a reason, in the stillness where peace settles into your bones. And while it feels soft, don't mistake it for weakness. This joy is fiercely intelligent. It's your soul's compass, telling you when you're in alignment with your purpose. It celebrates silently when you're walking your true path, and it withdraws when you drift too far, nudging you to realign. It is, in essence, the invisible thread connecting the divine with the earthly, the sacred with the ordinary, and the eternal with the temporary. Even in Scripture, joy holds a place of honor. The Apostle Paul, writing from prison in his letter to the Philippians, declared, "Rejoice in the Lord always. Again, I will say, rejoice." His circumstances were dire, but his joy remained unshaken because it wasn't tied to external conditions. This mirrors the chosen one's experience. The world may not see your progress, people may underestimate your resilience, and circumstances may try to press you down. But within, joy testifies that you are exactly where you're meant to be. It is your personal confirmation that the unseen sacrifices, the silent endurance, and the quiet victories are not only recognized by heaven, but are woven into the larger story of your destiny. Psychologists and spiritual teachers alike acknowledge the power of gratitude in cultivating this joy. Neuroscience even reveals that consistent gratitude practices rewire the brain, strengthening neural pathways associated with optimism and well-being. But for chosen ones, gratitude doesn't just rewire the brain, it awakens the spirit. It tunes your inner frequency to recognize blessings in the smallest details: a child's laughter, the scent of rain, the quiet stillness of dawn. When you begin to notice these gifts, joy multiplies, and with it, your spiritual alignment deepens. You stop striving for validation from others, because your soul has already received the only approval that matters, the confirmation that you are living in resonance with the grand design. So when you, chosen one, experience this joy, when you find yourself smiling in solitude, marveling at the ordinary, or feeling a peace that surpasses understanding, don't dismiss it. Don't label it coincidence or fleeting luck. Recognize it for what it is: confirmation. It is the universe cheering you on, heaven applauding your persistence, your soul acknowledging its own brilliance. This is not just a good mood, it is the living, breathing evidence that you are aligned with purpose. It speaks directly to your essence, bypassing logic and explanation, striking a chord that no earthly sound could ever produce. And this, above all, is the sign that matters most, the sign that doesn't demand interpretation, because deep down you already know. You are walking in truth, woven into the greater design, and joy itself rises within you as proof. So there you have it, chosen ones. 7 undeniable signs that your last move was so aligned, so powerful that it earned you a standing ovation from the angels. I want you to remember this. Your journey is being watched, not in judgment, but in celebration. You are a chosen one, and your life is not a mistake. It's a masterpiece in the making. Every bold, faith-filled move you make is being applauded in the heavens. So keep going, keep believing, and never, ever doubt the power of your next move. Now tell me in the comments below, which of these signs have you experienced lately? I can't wait to read your stories, and if this video resonated with you, hit that like button, subscribe, and share it with another chosen one who needs to hear this message. Until next time, stay blessed, stay awake, and keep making moves that make the angels cheer.